Hello and welcome to another video. We're looking at player profiles. Sean doesn't know who he's going to get yet.
No, we never know on these videos, and Al has the script in his hand. It's his choices, and I don't have a clue what's coming, and we'll see what he's picked out of the locker for this one. So what are you going with this week?
This guy's been a standing dish really in fantasy for the last few years. He's a running back.
Yeah.
Changed teams. He's now with the Ravens. We're talking Mark Ingram.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
His ADP... So currently is 49, so not so bad.
Yeah.
You a buyer or you a seller?
Let's a lot out of the bag, but let's put it this way. I would take Mark Ingram in round 2 of any league right now. 100%. Any league format. Mark Ingram will...
inside 24?
I'll take him I'll take him all day long. Look, let me tell you why, right? You've got Baltimore Ravens, okay? They are, you could argue, a running first kind of team. Gotta be, really. They've got a quarterback. They've got a quarterback that is going to have to show some better decision making and accuracy things. I do like Lamar Jackson. I think for the future in Dynasty, I think he's going to be a really interesting player to watch develop and grow. I think he's going to need the steady hand at running back, which is why they've taken Ingram. Ingram, we know, is at the last couple of years of his career, but let's be honest, he hasn't. It's not like he's broken down. Yeah, he's not broken down. He has got this wonderful knack for being a big time player, and he can carry a load. So I say Ingram is brilliant value in the second round, let alone that ADP. And I would argue that if you can get him at that ADP, you snap the hand off the players that feed him to you, and you take that all the way for this year's redraft. Now in Dynasty it's different. Obviously that's different.
Yeah, I mean,
he's 30 now. You're not going to go too near this player. But if you could get him cheap enough in Dynasty for 1 year, if you've got a team that can win and do it now, that's quite good too. But for Ingram for redraft, I think is fabulous value.
What about the fact that it's a crowded backfield?
Not when it's Ingram in the backfield. No, it wouldn't be. Why wouldn't he be the lead dog there, given what they paid him?
Gus Edwards was sneakily good at the end.
Yeah, this is Mark Ingram. He's got a pedigree.
Kenny Dixon?
No, forget that.
Justice Hill?
No, sorry. Listen, these people getting all high on Justice Hill. Look, Mark Ingram can catch. He can run the ball. You're not telling me they brought this guy in as a complementary piece. No, he is there to carry the load. Now, to rest his legs, they'll use Justice Hill every now and again, right? Not denying that. But Justice Hill will have to fight. Yeah, and Gus Edwards, but they will have to fight for 5 to 7 touches maximum per week between them, right? That's no value. Sorry about that, George. George has made a huge bet with me in another league about Justice Hill being part of that bet. Sorry, but it's not going to happen. Mark Ingram is just too valuable, too good, too strong, too talented, and wants it. He is the most tenacious running back in the class. He's like a mini Marshawn Lynch. He really is violent. I like the way he plays. So I'm happy to take him. There are a few players in that second round of any league. I'll happily take them, and he's one of them.
You got to go.
And if he drops,
you got to factor in though. I mean, he's with the Saints, high-powered offense.
Yeah.
Experienced quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
Now he's going to somebody that's, second-year quarterback in the league.
Baltimore, good defence, yeah.
But they haven't got what about the wide receiver
threat?
Well,
let's just go with this first. Okay, Baltimore, you would argue, still a good defence. They do it every year. They're pretty much in and amongst the mix of best defences.
Yeah, they're more suffocating.
Yeah, they have this tendency to, and you would argue that the games are often quite close. I mean, if you look at what they've done in the last 2 years.
They're grinders.
So they're going to run all day. That's why they brought Mark Ingram today.
Won't people load the box against them, or because they're different? I suppose they're going to run the option, aren't they?
Where does Ingram get best? As the game wears along. So Ingram gets better as the game goes along. He gets more dynamic as the game goes along. Load the box up. He'll take the contact hits. This is what he loves. So by the last, do you still think he's got an appetite now? He's not with the Saints. Big time.
You didn't think that about Bell, did you?
This is different. This guy has a mentality. It's a legacy he's protecting. This guy understands that legacy. I don't think Bell does. Would have been a good point in the other video, actually. But I think this guy understands that. He has played on a Super Bowl winning team, Ingram, and this is a chance for him to show what he's still got left in that tank. And let's be honest, that tank is still pretty bloody good. So I would ride him in redraft all day long, and I'll tell you how high I would take him as well, just so it's crystal clear. 17. Thanks very much. I'll go. There's a lot of players I'll put in that 17. The reason I'm saying this is for those drafting against us, you want these players, you got to come and get them. You're not getting them cheap. Mark Ingram will also be on some of your targets. You got to go and get him. So don't think they're going to slip.
Where would you take him there?
Take him as low as you can. I mean, if people are going to let him slip past 24, get him in the third round, get him in the fourth round. If that's what they're going to let happen, good. You know your drafters. If you don't know your drafters, they'll probably follow ADP. Use that as your guide, but don't be afraid to come in half a round early and grab him. particularly when you don't know drafters. For me, I'm putting his value up now because I know that they're going to think this is a steal. It's not a steal in the leagues I'm going to be in. Ingram's going off the board. You're going to get him early. I want him early. You got to take him ahead of me. If you don't, I'm taking other players. He ain't staying there because he has got league-winning appetite at that ADP. So don't be frightened of grabbing him in shares of him. He's fabulous. And I think they'll run all day. And I think what helps him is the quarterback being able to scramble takes a lot of pressure off the 8-man boxes anyway. You can't 8-man box a scrambling quarterback. You've got to worry about this. There is issues at wide receiver. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying there are some issues with accuracy. But the one thing this guy's got going for him is he's got the legs. And so if we can coach into him a little bit more of the dump-off stuff, which is what Ingram...
Don't take as many hits.
Don't take as many hits. Let Ingram do what he does best. Give him contact. Let him have violent contact. This guy is a monster. I love him when he plays because you always feel like DeAndre Hopkins. He's playing for you. He plays with venom. You don't want to tackle him. He's a butcher. I love him. I think he's great. What's not to like for this year? He exceeds his ADP by miles. How far can he challenge Ingram? Can he challenge the top backs this year in redraft? Absolutely. Why can't he? Why can't he do that in Baltimore? 16 games. The guy's got a pedigree for staying healthy. He's got a pedigree for violent appetite. He's going to run all day long. They've got a great defense. They're going to grind the games out. I like it. I see 80, 100 yards and a touchdown. I see lots of little catches, 2 or 3 dump-off passes. God, it looks great for me. I mean, that's the play you want there. That's fantastic.
Well, there you go. I mean, I don't think you could be any more buoyant about a player, to be honest. At 49,
it's great.
It seems great value. It screams great value.
I think people have gone off him. I mean, you know, obviously
RB23
madness. Look, we know in our drafts. Look, if we're arguing today, we know. Look, let's be honest. He's going in round. We know he's going in round 2. The only question is, at what point? Now, I've already put the value up, so it's a question of where he goes. We all know he'll go. It's not even going to be debated in our leagues. So the question is, how high are other people on him? I'm very high. They may not be. That's fine with me. And it depends where I'm drafting, because the thing is...
You don't want to take him too high, unless you have to.
No, well, you take him when you have to.
In a 16-man league.
It's different. If you can get away with it, you take him as low down as you can. Obviously, the ADP is the guideline. Hopefully, a lot of your drafters use that. You use that to your advantage. But I know my leagues, and I know the live leagues. He ain't going outside the first 2 rounds, so I might as well say it now, because I know it's happening anyway. So I've got that out of the way. Happy to say it. And hope that someone else sees him as big a value as I do.
Why? Because you don't want to take him?
No, because I do want him. I do want him in some point. I'd like to get him in redraft somewhere, but it's just when and where.
Well, there you go. What do you think of Ingram? Are you still in, or are you
out?
All out?
And
Sean's
if
in.
you're out, that's great, because I'd love to know why. So please share with us what the reasoning and the rationale behind Ingram being out. I mean, he did produce really well in tandem with Kamara. I suppose you could argue, what's the tandem going to be there? Well, I would possibly flip the switch and say I don't think he needs a tandem to thrive, and he'll do
Lamar
fine.
Jackson's almost a tandem.
He is, and that's where we're going to see. We'll see what happens, but I think he's very, very good for
the old
very,
we're
very,
going to
very
see
good.
a lot of the RPO with the Ravens, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're going to see him in a lot of opportunities to shine as Ingram, and watch how defenses wear down against these monsters. I mean, they look so horrible to play against. Baltimore look worse than
I don't
ever.
like watching them.
I know it's terrible to watch, but they choked the game to death.
I quite like watching Lamar, but I don't like watching them on defence.
Yeah, but I think this running game could be one of them where you sort of see a guy who is just really frustrating to play against, Ingram, because it'd be like this. He's only got 60 yards this game and a touchdown, 3 catches for 40 yards, and you think, Christ, that ain't bad fantasy numbers. And he just keep grinding that out every single week. I love it. And it could have some real games where the game, there's only been 17 points scored and he scored 2 touchdowns. It's that kind of player.
I think we know Sean's in. So
Are
you in? What do you think? So we'd love to hear that down in the comments if you want to do that. Also, if you join the series, consider subscribing, and if you've enjoyed the video, leave a like. And thanks very much for watching.
See you next time.